Welcome to Wheelchair Travels with Vineet.
I'm Vineet.
And I'm his mom.
This is the second video of our Europe trip series. If you haven't watched the first video already, please do watch it here.
So in our previous video, we mentioned that we landed in London to a cold, rainy English weather, and although we hoped that it would clear up the next day, it didn't. Well, for most of the first half at least.
So this is how St. Giles looked as we made our way out, dripping away, when this is what it actually looked like the next day. Our tour manager Mr. Naresh had instructed us the previous day that our bus for day sightseeing would leave the hotel by 8 am.
But of course, we got late the very first day and learnt a few hard lessons.
Firstly, all the front seats were occupied and somehow Mr. Naresh accommodated me and Papa.
Two of our tour group members were kind enough to give up their front seats to Vineet and Papa. It would have been impossible for Vineet to have even a two-way view if he did not get the front seat because of his stature.
Mum and Viti went to the last seat, which they later said was the best for them, as they could even take the nap on it.
Me and Viti stuck to our last seat for the entire trip. So let's start our London day tour now.
उनके लिए भी ऑप्शन है फुल टावर के बाद में आप अपने हिसाब से you can just go around anywhere you like. Okay, then you have to directly join us to the either restaurant or direct to the hotel, and I can bring you takeaway. That is one option. ठीक है? If you want to come with us, you can come. आप डिज्नी तक हमारे साथ में आ सकते हो. You can come with us to Disney. And then
this was our first stop, but we couldn't look around due to the rain. Wonder if it was wheelchair accessible, as I saw a lot of stairs.
King, he became King George VI, and on his death on the 2nd of June 1952, Princess Elizabeth was in Africa and heard that her father had died, and she came back to this country as our queen. She was a young girl of 25 years of age. Now she's a mature lady of 91 years of age. Her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, is going to be 97 in just a couple of weeks' time, and he's decided at the end of the year to give up a lot of his public works that he does and won't be seen about so much now. So we're going to have to take a left. Look down this little alleyway on the left hand side here, this beautiful old Victorian aspect of a market down there. We will have another view of London Bridge.
We were unable to go anywhere near the London Bridge as there had been a terrorist attack on it recently. It had been cordoned off for big vehicles such as ours, but we did manage to have a glimpse or two as we passed by it from adjacent roads.
Of Tower Bridge. But unfortunately we usually get a better view of this, but because of the roads shut on the south side of the river and the problem in and around London Bridge, all of those roads are shut for security purposes, and so unfortunately today we can't actually see as much as we would like because of the security that is involved at the moment in time. It's unfortunate, but unfortunately that is the world we live in today. Road open that they will come on, but usually that bridge will be full of traffic
There's
both
cars
ways.
coming. Okay, cars are allowed.
But
People
because
are
of the way
walking.
the road closures are on the other side, there is just one road open there. No, we can't get to the other side without a very, very long detour. We have to literally go across one bridge, we have to go down 3 or 4 miles and then come back again. And the roads that are open on the other side aren't suitable for coaches. They are fine for taxis, cars and vans, but you cannot get with the roads open the other side.
We have to go back for it.
One of the major 5-star hotels here in London. Well known for its quality of its cuisine, its cooking, its comfort and service inside. So this area is known as Piccadilly, and we are going to be running down towards Piccadilly Circus, centre really of a lot of London.
So this was our view of Piccadilly Circus, and this is how it looks on a nice sunny day.
Where the red flags are here, this is Burlington House, the Royal Academy of Arts, one of our major art galleries here in London. And over on the right hand side, you see the green there and this lovely window displays. This is Fortnum and Mason.
We moved towards Trafalgar Square, which was also drenched in rain, and our guide told us some very interesting facts about it.
And we've had lots of things. We've had recently we've had a skeleton of a horse up there. We've had a ship in a bottle up there. We've had all sorts of things go on there to promote modern art forms. The fountains were put in the early 1900s, and they're actually powered by one of London's underground rivers. And one of the big events that happens here is you get a lot of people here congregating together to see the fireworks that are going to go off for New Year's Eve and everything else. But a little bit deserted today because of the weather. Bit unusual, this amount of rain for us. Get rid of about 10 years ago. Pigeons leave a lot of mess, and there were too many pigeons here, so we actually stopped feeding the pigeons. Yeah, we stopped feeding the pigeons, and we also pipe in a very high noise that disturbs the pigeons, and that leaves the place a lot cleaner for people to enjoy in it.
Please let us know in the comments if these buses are wheelchair accessible or not.
Small comedy theatre. So there we see the River Thames itself. What's the tide doing? I think the tide is actually going out at the moment. But you know, you see across the other side there, the sand there, that's usually covered. If you look up along the wall, you see the green algae growing. That is as far as the tide comes up. As I said, anywhere between 17 and 25 feet. Over on the left-hand side, this is called the Inner and Middle Temple. Nothing to do with religion. This is where a lot of our barristers, solicitors, judges have their offices here in the centre of London. And as you look across to the right hand side, just in the distance there, that funny shaped glass building known as the Shard. It's made So yes, going under London Bridge. So this one is London Bridge. Yes, they've blocked the road off there, so we can't turn up onto it. And of course, we turn left at the top here on the right hand side. They're back in their boxes at the moment, and are the horse guards who guard this ceremonial entrance into towards Buckingham Palace, and they are the blues and hand side as we turn round. And of course it's just behind these buildings where the Queen will have her birthday parade on Saturday, known as Trooping of the Colour. Again, we've got barriers all the way along this street as well.
On the streets of London, very lucky that the rainfall is not down, but very strong winds. Shivering. And we need to under the umbrella.
Of our Prime Minister, there with the policeman at the gates there. That is the entrance to Downing Street and the home. We'll enter Parliament Square, we go round it at least once, a complete circuit for you to get some photographs. Sorry, only from the coach. But the first one you want to think about is on your left hand side as we go through the traffic lights. This is the view you get of Big Ben, this clock tower with this famous bell on the inside, known as Big Ben, the 13.5 ton bell. And then the building itself is the Palace of Westminster.
Here we were allowed to get down and take some pics, but it would have been hectic for Papa in such a short time. So we decided to stay in the coach.
And the building over there by the eye, that's known as County Hall, used to be the London Parliament building, but now is a hotel and exhibition space. Also has the London Aquarium and the London Dungeons over there as well. But as I say, from the eye, you do get a brilliant view over Parliament Square. Even on a day like today, you're going to be seeing about 20 miles.
Finally, we reached Madame Tussauds, and although we had the tickets to the Star Wars gallery as well, we couldn't make it. Here's why. The museum is in a very old British building, and there is not enough space to allow more than 3 wheelchairs at once, and the slot for 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. was full, so we had 1 hour to wait for the 3 p.m. slot. So it's best to book your slot 24 hours in advance as per their website notice. So we found ourselves this pleasant looking eatery just adjacent to it and made ourselves comfortable. Papa with his beer, Viti with her pizza, and me, yes. After satisfying our tummies, we had some more time left, so we took a stall nearby to the souvenir shop. This statue was very interesting, and you had to do some kind of payment to hear Sherlock Holmes' voice. Do comment and let us know. This pic is inside the Underground Rail Station, also called the Tube. In London, it's wheelchair accessible. And finally, it was time to enter Madame Tussauds. We skipped the line with our pre-bought tickets provided by our tour manager. This is the right-hand side view as you enter. And the lift for wheelchairs was down the corridor. We got an attendant to help us in the lift as it was not for the general public.
टर्न चेक करता है और सुनेगा टॉप से करके ये वाला चेयर्स भी घूम जाएगा
Going on? The Voice UK. How cool is that? You want to play? See, look at the light.
Hello there, 3 2. Okay. How old are you, my love? You're 11. Just waiting for the please. Now, just going to check your lights.
There were many floors, and in that short time slot, we managed 1 or 2 floors only. It was badly cramped due to the rainy morning. People who are claustrophobic, like my mum, should avoid it. We came out after an hour, and the bus had still not arrived from the parking. So Papa decided to have some street food, London style. Hehe.
Who? She is Aubrey Hepburn.
Oh, the bus was a typical tourist AC one by Mercedes, but it was not wheelchair accessible.
So every time there was a stopover, we would wait until everyone had gotten off the bus, and then the driver would open the luggage compartment below where Papa would have folded and kept Vineet's wheelchair earlier, and the driver helped us in unfolding and putting Vineet on the chair every time. He was a real gem of a person.
It was around 7 pm as we went for dinner to an Indian restaurant called Papadums. According to others, the food was delicious.
I must add that it was very exhausting for Papa to do this in the entire trip, which is why we may opt for an accessible tour company for our next trip, God willing.
We had booked this trip via the Thomas Cook India Company and we had a very good experience, other than the accessibility part. But of course, they are not an accessible dedicated tour company. Hope you like the video. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And press the bell icon. You can also follow me on Instagram at the rate of Wheelchair Travels with Vineet. Thank you. Peace.
Don't forget to watch the next video on Paris coming up real soon.
Oh, that's so sweet. Tiny little.
So in our previous video, we mentioned that we landed in London. So in our previous video, we mentioned that we landed in London to a cold, rainy English weather, and although we hoped that it would clear up the next day, it
Our tour manager, Mr. Niresh, had instructed us the previous day that our bus. We had booked this trip via the Thomas Cook India Company and we had a very nice time.
we were unable to go anywhere. It had been cordoned off for Woohoo!
पूरा हो गया